Archangel Michael says your spirit has already reached the threshold, and the handle is warming in your palm. The night around you looks ordinary, yet the air carries a quiet announcement that refuses to fade. The path behind you narrows, and the path before you begins to glow like a promise kept. You step softly, guided by a nudge that keeps arriving from the same invisible place. The nudge turns into a pulse, and the pulse becomes a rhythm your heart remembers from long ago. A whisper circles your name with care, as if your future is being threaded through a needle of light. The room you are in stretches wider, as if the walls have agreed to move for your becoming. The floor steadies your feet like a friend who knows the direction even when you hesitate. The silence is not empty, it is clothed with arrival. A hush travels through your thoughts, gathering every scattered piece and arranging them like candles on a windowsill. You feel the alignment click into place the way keys find their lock. A soft knock echoes within you, and you realize the sound came from your own courage. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Your name is being carried by gentle winds that have visited this door before you. Each wind carries a memory of what you have survived, and the door listens with kindness. The metal of the keyhole recognizes your resilience and softens. A faint golden seam outlines the doorway, brightening when your breath slows into steadiness. The seam widens into a clear invitation, and the door seems to lean closer as if trying to meet you halfway. You are no longer standing outside anything that belongs to you. Time loosens its grip, not to erase the past but to honor what the past taught you. The lessons turn into stepping stones that carry your weight with ease. The hush becomes a gentle drum calling you forward. You feel a breeze brush your cheek like a blessing that has finally found your address. It brings the fragrance of new beginnings, subtle and undeniable. Something in you answers, without noise, without fuss, simply by standing straighter. Type Amen to get blessing 444. The room fills with a living quiet that understands your story without commentary. It carries your prayers the way a river carries boats, steady and sure. Your heart lays down its armor and lifts its banner of trust. The banner is not loud, it is beautifully certain. It tells the room you are ready, and the room responds by opening a second space you hadn't noticed before. Space arrives when courage breathes. In that second space, you sense the outline of a future that fits, not borrowed, not forced. Your shoulders drop, and your jaw unclenches, and a warmth settles where worry used to sit. You can feel the hinge, oiled by grace, preparing to turn. Every step that once felt heavy begins to feel orchestrated. The ground welcomes your stride and returns your faith with interest. Your momentum becomes quiet authority. Type Amen to get blessing 555. A slender thread of light extends from the door to your wrist, and it holds without binding. It signals that you are not chasing, you are being met. Destiny walks toward you at the same pace you dare to walk toward it. The thread brightens with each slow breath, mapping a gentle corridor through the present moment. It marks the spot where fear once stood and replaces it with clarity. Clarity settles like dew and glistens on everything you own inside your chest. You recognize signs that have visited you in ordinary hours, the repeated name, the untimed kindness, the sudden peace. They return now as confirmations rather than puzzles. They stand in a circle around the door and smile like guardians. You hold still long enough to hear your own life speak with tenderness. It does not demand, it invites. The invitation feels like a soft key placed into your open hand. Type Amen to get blessing 777. Comment, opening, to anchor this promise in your timeline. The key in your hand warms until it matches your pulse. Where there was doubt, there is now a gentle steadiness that does not argue. The steadiness becomes a lantern that lights exactly the next step and nothing more. You approach the threshold with a respect earned by everything you have overcome. The edge between before and after lies beneath your toes, quiet as a held breath. Courage stretches across that edge like a bridge built just for you. Old labels slip from your shoulders and fall to the floor without sound. They do not belong to who is arriving. You nod to them once and let them rest. What once felt distant now feels close enough to greet by name. You do not force it, you allow it. Allowing is the strongest door opener of all. Type Amen to get blessing 888. The handle receives your fingers like a familiar handshake. It holds no resistance, only recognition. Recognition restores what faint discouragement had tried to erode. The hinge hums in a tone your bones remember. The tone tells of paths that will introduce you to rooms that honor your voice. Your voice, even in whispers, carries the weight of truth. A cool brightness pours from the small opening you have made. It is not blinding, it is precise. It lands on your intentions and gathers them into alignment. You notice how safe the moment feels, even though it is new. Safety and newness do not argue here, they dance. The dance widens the door another inch. Type Amen to get blessing 999. A tenderness brushes your shoulders like a mantle fitted to size. It carries the message that nothing necessary will be missing. The mantle does not make you heavy, it makes you ready. There is a table prepared just past the door, with room for every part of your calling. The chairs do not scrape the floor, they slide into welcome. Welcome speaks fluently here. Your steps touch down like promises kept. Each promise becomes a stepping stone that lights as you move. The light does not rush, it accompanies. The air tastes like dawn and well water. The taste tells you that your season has clicked into place. Place, finally, feels like home. Type Amen to get blessing 111. Comment, I claim it, to mark your agreement with this opening. Archangel Michael says the assignments meant for you cannot pass you by, and they cannot be stolen. The measure of blessing fits your hands, because your hands were shaped for it. This fit ends the long ache of almost. Your breath becomes a calm river, and your mind becomes a meadow with no thorns. Ideas drift in like birds that trust the branch. You become a safe branch for what is ready to perch. The door opens 2 more inches, and a soft path appears lined with quiet confirmations. A familiar melody rides the breeze and rests in your chest. The melody steadies your pace. Your patience earns its own reward by coming with you. It sits at your side and smiles like an old friend who knew this day would arrive. The smile reaches your bones. Type Amen to get blessing 222. The corridor narrows, not to confine you, but to focus you. It trims the noise and leaves the signal. The signal shines like a lighthouse through soft rain. You notice how every difficulty taught your feet where to land. The learning becomes grace under pressure. Grace under pressure becomes quiet mastery. Mastery here is not loud, it is consistent. It shows up in the way you keep your promise to your own heart. Your heart answers by opening further. When you look back for a moment, you offer gratitude without reliving the ache. Gratitude travels light and multiplies quickly. Multiplication begins in the calm. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. The door hears your gratitude and yields a little more. Yielding does not mean surrendering who you are, it means releasing what no longer serves. Release clears the room for what belongs. A thin ribbon of sunlight draws a line at your feet. The line marks the moment where delay turns into delivery. Delivery happens in right order. Right order looks like perfect timing that does not apologize for its pace. It carries peace even when it accelerates. Peace keeps pace without panting. You meet yourself at the pace of certainty. Certainty does not shout, it nods. The nod tells the door you are ready to enter. Type Amen to get blessing 1010. Comment, ready, to seal your readiness. Across the threshold, your future has set aside a chair with your initials stitched in the fabric. The stitching was done during nights when you thought nothing was moving. Everything was moving. Textures change as you step through, like winter easing into bloom. The bloom is not frantic, it is thorough. Thoroughness ensures that what opens will remain open. A light rain of favor begins, not as spectacle but as saturation. It absorbs into the soil of your daily schedule. Habits become holy ground. What was hard edges becomes rounded grace. Grace makes room for precision. Precision chooses you with delight. Type Amen to get blessing 1313. In the new room, you notice a letter on the table with your name embossed. The envelope opens cleanly without tearing the message. The message carries warmth without smoke. It tells you that the door you just crossed leads to doors you cannot yet count. Each door opens in due sequence, never late and never misplaced. Sequence becomes your ally. You realize your presence has shifted from surviving to shaping. Shaping does not strain, it listens and responds. Your responses become fluent. Fluency settles into your walk and into the way you hold the day. You hold it gently, and it yields gladly. Glad yielding invites more. Type Amen to get blessing 1717. A clock on the wall does not tick in anxiety, it breathes in rhythm. The rhythm matches your new stamina. Stamina wears velvet here. A bowl of fresh water waits by the window and cools your hands. The cooling is permission to rest between strides. Rest does not threaten progress, it strengthens it. A small bell rings without noise, announcing the arrival of resources aligned with your purpose. The alignment feels like shoulders finally level under a backpack that once slid. The pack now carries evenly. Your yes is simple, and the simplicity has power. Power arrives gently and takes its place without drama. Drama leaves the room and does not return. Type Amen to get blessing 1234. Comment, walking through, to witness your step. You touch the door behind you and feel it bless your back without closing. Some doors do not slam, they support. Support forms a quiet arch over your head. From the arch, a cascade of insights begins to land in your notebook and your calendar. The insights fit like tessellations with no gaps. The gaps you feared once are simply gone. Through the window, you see pathways fanning outward, each with its own fragrance and color. You are not forced to choose under pressure. Choice here is kind and timely. As you breathe, your name feels at home in your mouth. Speaking it feels like honoring a covenant. The covenant has always been faithful. Type Amen to get blessing 909. In the corner of the room, an instrument waits for your touch. When your fingers meet the strings, the entire space remembers the original plan. The plan has included you from the beginning. Melody pours out with the ease of something that knows where to land. It falls into every dry place and makes it soft again. Soft ground grows strong roots. Roots drink from deeper aquifers that worry cannot access. The water rises into your day with quiet power. You taste the difference and smile. Smiles multiply faster than fear. They rearrange the furniture of your mind for comfort and clarity. Clarity becomes customary. Type Amen to get blessing 606. On the far wall, a second door flickers into view, not as pressure but as promise. It glows in the periphery, inviting patience and steady steps. Patience nods, and promise lingers. Your hands learn the art of opening without pushing. You move with the season and not against it. The season moves with you and not ahead of you. The floorboards creak in approval, and the windows breathe. Everything that loves your purpose seems to live here. The living quality of the room steadies your shoulders. You set your intention on the table like a candle in a safe holder. It burns clean and bright. Brightness attracts what belongs. Type Amen to get blessing 4444. Comment, alignment, to welcome right order. A map unfurls itself across the table with no confusion on it. Lines are simple, landmarks are kind, and the legend is clear. You understand without striving. Understanding gathers your history, not to replay it, but to redeem it. Redeemed time moves differently. It moves with lightness. Lightness finds its way into the way you plan, the way you speak, the way you rest. You carry less and accomplish more. The math of grace favors you. The second door does not compete with the first, it completes it. Completion hums under your ribs. The hum is calm and certain. Type Amen to get blessing 3333. A breeze passes through that smells like cedar and warm bread. The combination feels like safety and sufficiency. Sufficiency sits in the chair and stays. A letter of release lies under the map, signed in quiet ink. It frees you from timelines that were never yours to obey. Freedom is silent and effective. As you breathe, the house of your life adds a room. The blueprint always had it, you are only discovering. Discovery delights the architect. The handle of the second door shines like a steady star. It does not rush you. It honors your pace. Type Amen to get blessing 1818. Comment, second door, to note this expansion. Archangel Michael says the next opening will confirm what your spirit already knows, and it will settle every minor storm. The confirmation will arrive in ordinary hours and feel strangely inevitable. Inevitability here is just another word for promise matured. You reach toward the handle with hands that have learned to receive. Receiving is different from grasping, it anchors instead of clutches. Anchored hands open better doors. The hinge sighs with relief, as if it has waited to serve you. It moves so smoothly that the air barely stirs. Smoothness becomes your new normal. As the door swings, the room beyond greets you with a horizon made of opportunities that fit your name. Fit matters here more than volume. The right fit multiplies without strain. Type Amen to get blessing 2424. Light extends across your path in measured steps that match your stride. The measure is kind and consistent. Consistency turns sparks into steady flame. A chair in the new room holds a small box with your initials again, this time in silver. The box opens to reveal tools that do not overwhelm you. Each tool knows its job. You pick up the first tool and feel ease run up your arm. Ease meets diligence and shakes hands. They agree to work together. When you glance back, the first door remains open like a friendly witness. Witness strengthens testimony. Testimony becomes quiet confidence. Type Amen to get blessing 2727. Comment ease to affirm graceful work. On a shelf, there is a journal with blank pages that do not intimidate you. Every page receives your words like good soil receives seeds. The seeds know what to do. Your words draw blueprints in the air and then lay them gently on the table. Nothing is rushed, everything is exact. Exactness is mercy in motion. Mercy shows up in how the right people find you at the right hour. They do not crowd, they contribute. Contribution keeps the room generous. The windows stay open without making you cold. Fresh air and stability share the room. Sharing becomes the culture. Type Amen to get blessing 3030. The day moves forward and carries you like a river that has learned your favorite pace. The river does not bump into the banks anymore, it glides. Glide becomes your signature. In the distance, another pathway bows toward you with respect. It carries the kind of opportunities that prefer integrity over spectacle. Integrity fits you like a well-made coat. You wear that coat without needing anyone to notice. The coat warms you from the inside. Warmth becomes your standard. The floorboards do not groan under your dreams. They bless them. Blessing becomes the language of your house. Type Amen to get blessing 3131. A soft bell sounds again, and the room rearranges itself for expansion. Expansion does not crowd, it clarifies. Clarity opens windows as easily as doors. In the courtyard outside, a single oak stands and throws patient shade. The shade invites reflective pauses that sharpen your strength. Strength and softness travel together here. A kettle sings from the kitchen like hospitality finally relaxed. The song reminds you that celebration belongs in ordinary afternoons. Ordinary afternoons become holy ground. You pour a cup and feel the simple joy of enough. Enough is a choir, not a whisper. Its chorus settles the house. Type Amen to get blessing 4141. Comment, enough, to root this peace. Evening arrives without pressure, and the light grows amber. The amber hour drapes your shoulders and completes the day gently. Completion loves gentleness. In the quiet, you review the openings and understand that none were accidents. Each hinge moment had a name and a reason. The names line up and bow. You mark the day with gratitude that neither erases hard things nor glorifies them. Gratitude plays fair. It changes the weather inside. The walls hold your story without trapping it. Stories breathe better when the author is at rest. You are at rest. Type Amen to get blessing 5151. The night does not threaten your progress. It quilts it. Every square of the quilt is stitched with evidence of help. Help has been faithful. You close your eyes and keep the doors open in your spirit. Open spirit attracts right timing. Timing obeys the calm. Calm gathers tomorrow and folds it neatly on the chair for morning. It will fit when you wake. It always does. You sleep like someone who knows the way home from anywhere. Home is no longer a place you chase, it is a place that rises to meet you. Meeting becomes mutual. Type Amen to get blessing 6161. Comment, sealed, to seal this word within you. Archangel Michael says the door before you responds to your steady breath, your clean yes, and your quiet courage. The hinges remember you, the handle trusts you, and the room beyond loves who you are becoming. This opening is not a spectacle, it is a covenant kept. And so you rise in the morning and place your hand on what is already yours. The door swings as easily as a greeting between lifelong friends. You step through, and the house of your life steps forward with you. Today carries the fragrance of right rooms and right people and right work. The fragrance lingers on your sleeves and touches everything you touch. Touch becomes blessing. Your days begin to rhyme without repeating. Rhyme gives cadence, not cages. Cadence makes movement sustainable. Type Amen to get blessing 7171. In the next hallway, a clear window shows a landscape of appointments that have been waiting gently. None of them are shouting, all of them are aligned. Alignment refuses to hurry and refuses to stall. You walk at the speed of trust, and trust deepens under your feet. Deep trust makes shallow stress evaporate. Evaporation clears the horizon. Horizon means you can see farther without straining your eyes. You have space to choose wisely and time to prepare well. Preparation here feels like kindness to your future self. Your future self sends back a thank you that arrives as a calm in your chest. Calm becomes your compass. The compass points to peace. Type Amen to get. Purpose stops being heavy and starts being natural. It fits into your schedule like breath fits into lungs. You breathe in purpose and breathe out service. Service stays pure when it flows from overflow. Overflow does not splash, it streams. The stream runs clear. Clear water feeds gardens you did not even know you were planting. Those gardens return color to places that forgot their names. Names return with smiles. Type Amen to get blessing 8181. The evening settles again, and the doors you open today remain gently ajar. They no longer demand watchfulness, they invite trust. Trust watches without fear. A final glow rests above the threshold like a quiet halo. It does not fade when the lamps go out. It keeps vigil kindly. You lie down with no weight on your chest, only warmth. Warmth tells your bones they are home. Home agrees and embraces. Your last thought before sleep is simple and strong: the door opened, remains open, and will lead me from good to better with grace. The word better has no edge tonight, only kindness. Kindness closes the day like a friend. Type Amen to get blessing 9090. Comment Amen to complete this chapter and enter the next with peace.